So today we're going over the study guide for NF 1, 2, and 3. So add, subtract, and then can you turn a division sentence into a fraction? First of all, I want to say how proud I am of you guys working this week. You've really done a nice job of proving that you understand the problems. So number one, we're going to add the fractions below by replacing each one with an equivalent fraction. Okay, so on the test, they're not going to have these. They're just going to have the two pictures. Okay, so if I'm adding 3/4 and 2/3, so I'm going to take my picture and I'm going to divide them up into more pieces. So I know that 3/4 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pieces. And now we have a total of 12. I know that over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. And I know those are 12s. I could have solved it this way. I know that I want my denominator to be 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. So times 3 times 3 times 4 times 4. So 9 plus 8 is 17/12. But I shouldn't necessarily leave it that way. I know that if I have 17, 12 can go into 17 one time with 5 left over. I could draw 17 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. I circle 12, 6, 8, 10, 12. One whole with 5 left over, and my denominator stays the same. So I'm going to subtract the fractions below by replacing each one using a model, algorithm, or words. So I have 2.5, and I'm going to subtract 4/5. I'm going to make my common denominator be 10. 5 times 2 is 10. So times 2 times 2, 4 times 2 is 8, times 5 times 5. All right, so now I'm ready to subtract. I can't do 5 minus 8. I can't do it. So I have to borrow over here and add on, if it's tenths, to add on 10 tenths. 5 plus 10 is 15. Now I can subtract. 15 minus 8 is 7. My denominator stays the same. 1 minus nothing is 1. Oh, goodness. There she is. All right, I have 3 fractions. I'm going to give myself space on another piece of paper. 2/3, 3.5, 3.25. 3.25. So I have to figure out what fraction I can use, or what denominator I can use that 3, 2, and 4 all go into. These are all factors of, well, 3 times 4 is 12. And I know 2 can also get to 12. Its fact family will get me to 12. So I'm going to use 12 as a common denominator. We've been practicing factors of all year long so that this will be easier. 3, what do I do to 3 to get to 12? Times 4. I'm going to do 8. What am I going to do to 2? What do I do to get over to 12? Times 6. Same to the numerator. What do I do to 4 to get to 12? 3. All right, this was adding. My denominator stays the same. 8 and 16, 14. 3 more is 17. 3 plus 3 is. I've done 17/12 just on the last problem up here. I know 17/12 is the same as 1 and 5/12. 1 and 5/12. I can't forget to put my wholes together. 7 and 5/12. 7 and 5/12. All right, number 4. I'm going to choose one of the problems above and explain how you solve the problem as if you were explaining it to another student. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one. I wrote the problem vertical. So I'm going step by step at telling everything that I did. I found a common denominator of 12 because 3, 6, and 2 are factors of 12. 12 is a good number to start with because 12 has a lot of factors. So does 24. So those are pretty common ones that you can use. Okay? So I found equivalent fractions. So I'm using all these math vocabulary words. I found equivalent fractions because 2/3 is equal to 8/12 by multiplying by 4. A half is equal to 6/12. I knew that because 6 is half of 12, because 6 is half of 12. And I knew a fourth is equal to 3/12 by multiplying by 3. Okay, so then I added 8 plus 6 plus 3, which is equal to 17. I kept the same denominator, 12. I added 3 plus 3 to get 6. So 6, 17, 12. Okay, so 17/12 is equal to 1 and 5/12 plus 6 equals 7 and 5/12. So I went step by step by step on each thing that I did. All right, so problem 5. Maya has 3 1/4 cups of candy, but Lana only has 2 1/6. How much more does Maya have? So if I have much more, I'm trying to find difference. How much more does one have than the other is difference. So I had 3 1/4, and I'm trying to find the difference of 2 1/6. 3 1/4 minus 2 1/6. So I have to find common denominators. So I'm going to find something common between 6 and 4. So there's a few different ways you can do it. I'm going to do it 2 different ways in case you did this on your paper. If I just use 6 times 4, I'm going to get 24. Some of you may have noticed that you couldn't get there to 12 because they're both factors of 12. You just saw that in the other problem. So I'm going to do times 4 times 4. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. Times 6 and times 6. Over here, 6 times 2 is 12. And I'm going to do times 3 and times 3. Okay, 6 minus 4 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Over here, 3 minus 2 is 1. 12. 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, this has a common factor of 2. I should simplify. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 1 and 1, 12. Now they're the same. Either way you did your work. 6. Samara has a cup of slime. Albriana has 5/6 of a cup of slime. Who has more? How much more? Who has more? Okay, I'm going to draw myself a picture. Okay, so I have 2/3. Who is this? Samara. And Albriana has, I'm going to draw the same size box, but I have to split hers into 6 So she said 5/6. Is there another name for this that I can use as sixth? This one is 5/6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I made them into 6 pieces. I know that because times 2 and times 2. So who has more? Aubriana. There's 2 questions. I didn't forget them. I went back and checked. Who has more? Aubriana. How much more? Well, the difference is just 1 piece. 1/6 more. Next page. So Ms. Smith put the following problem on the board and asked her class to estimate the value without actually adding. So Jonathan estimated the answer to be close to 1/2. He said 3/5 is close to 1, 6/7 is close to 1, so the answer would be 2. Do you agree with Jonathan? Why or why not? Well, I'm going to draw a picture before I move forward. 3/5 and 6/7. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that was 3/5. And 6/7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is estimating. I remember we cut things in half. We looked at 0, half, or 1. 0, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So halfway is right here. This estimates to 1/2. This one is much closer to 1 whole than it is to this. So my answer, when I add them together, should be 1 1/2. Let's see, what did they say? Jonathan estimated the answer to be close. Oh, I made a typo. I'll have to talk to you guys about that at school tomorrow, or today. Jonathan estimated the answer to be close to 2. He said 3/5 is close to 1. I said 3/5. Oh. No. So no, 3/5 is not close to 1. It is close to 1/2. So 1 plus 1/2 equals 1 1/2. Oh, sorry. So I also know that because I proved it over here with my work. I didn't just answer, I showed my picture to prove it. You need to do the same. All right, the 7 fourth grade classrooms have a total of 18 dry erase markers to share. Oh, so I got 7 classrooms, 4th grade. Some of them are in trailers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and they have all these boxes of markers. What fraction of the boxes of dry erase markers will each class receive? Oh, this is the type of problem where I have to turn fraction as division. I have to look at how division is a fraction. What am I giving? Am I going to share the classes and give them to the markers? No. I want to take the markers and give them to the classroom. So I have to put the markers first. Then I have to split them with the classrooms because I'm giving them to the classroom. Drawing these pictures help. So the first number goes in the numerator, the second number goes in the denominator. But I shouldn't leave it that way. So I'm going to draw 18 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I'm going to circle groups of 7 because that's my denominator. 6, 7. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. So I have 2 whole groups and 1, 2, 3, 4 left over. My denominator stays the same. Okay, Miss Johnson has a roll of ribbon for a character project. So she has these 3 rolls of ribbon. She needs to distribute it. She needs to make sure all 8 students. So she's got students. Okay, so am I going to give the ribbon to the students, or am I going to take the students, cut them up, and give them to the ribbon? Definitely not cutting them up. I'm going to give the ribbon to the students. So I need to do this first. 3 divided by 8. First number goes in the numerator, second number goes in the denominator. So dividend goes in the numerator, divisor goes in the denominator. All right, Miss Matheson and Miss DeMartz are giving a pizza party to Safety Patrol and the Art Club. So I got safety patrol and I have art club. She'll order for safety patrol. I have 4 pizzas and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students. Okay, the art club, I have 3 pizzas for every 1, 2, 3, 4 students. How much pizza will you get? This is still a fraction as division problem. So how much pizza will you get? If you want to receive the most, which party will you attend? How do you know? There's 1, 2, 3 questions. I'm not going to miss answering a question. Am I going to give pizzas to students, or am I going to take the students and cut them up onto the pizzas? No, pizzas to students. So 4 divided by 5 equals 4 is the numerator, 5 is the denominator. 3, let me write this way first, divided by 4. So how much will you get at each pizza party? Check, check. If you want to receive the most, which one are you going to attend? Which one do you get more pizza? 3/4 or 4/5? Well, I could draw 2 boxes, fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 4. 3/4. 1, 2, 3. They're really close. So what I'm going to do is do 3/4, and I'm going to do 4/5, and I'm going to turn them into having the same denominator. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. So times 4 is 16. Times 5 is 15. Okay, so this was right. So safety patrol gets more. So 3rd question, I drew a picture. I found equivalent fractions. I did it 2 ways. Oh my gosh, that must be getting me a 4 because I showed a picture and I found equivalent fractions. So I did it in 2 ways. I hope we noticed on the study guide to give you clues of how you could get correct answers and get higher. Show me that you know more. Equivalent fractions. 16 is more than 15 pieces. And the pieces were all 20ths, so that's fair. I can't compare it if they're different size pieces. All right, watch this video as many times as you need to be prepared for the quiz or the test on Friday.